as you was aware, on June 12th, there was a situation regarding village board meeting and a threat of violence during the meeting. I just want to assure the public and the board that I have taken every threat of violence very serious and have very utmost confidence that the Sauk Police Department will handle this situation appropriately. Every safety measure has been taken to continue to provide a safe environment needed for our residents and for our board. So if the police department is handling the issue that regarding the board meeting the other night on the front. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, you stated in your remarks that you're confident that the police department is going to handle this appropriately. With all due respect, Mr. Mayor, from the very beginning, it's not handled appropriately. With no reflection on the chief of police, by him sitting inside the meeting, it was one of his sergeants who approached him in the meeting and called him out. It was that same sergeant who stated that an individual walked up to her and threatened the negative violence on the community and the board itself. That sergeant did nothing to apprehend or detain the villain, if you will. I want to know why that sergeant allowed an individual to walk up to her on duty, badge and weapon, uniform, and let the individual walk away from threatening violence on the citizens of Sauk Village in this board meeting and the boardroom in itself. I have contacted a couple of municipalities, chief of police, and they stated to me that that act was an act of cowardice and an act of derelict of duty. If that's the case, Mr. Mayor, for a sergeant on our police department to react in such a manner, I'd like to know what is being done. If not, that sergeant should be at least disciplined or re-educated, because that sergeant had our lives in her hands. And if that sergeant allowed this to take place, what else would that sergeant allow? This cannot be tolerated for a high-ranking officer in our police department to act in that manner. Not to put the police chief on the spot, but I need to know what's going to be done with this police officer, because this is the same police officer who has been suing the village on numerous occasions. It is the same police officer who has been stating that the police chiefs are incompetent, so forth and so forth, and yet this officer performs an act of cowardice such as this. It's a problem for me, and if it's not a problem for anyone else, but that's tough, I'm going to handle it my way. And something needs to be done with this. I need to know what's going to be done with this officer. I'd like to know if there's a report been filed with this officer. If so, or if not, when will that report be filed? And what type of disciplinary actions would be brought to this officer?
Chief, would you like to respond?
Sure,
Mayor and Board, I wouldn't respond to any discipline, any personnel in open meetings, because it's a personnel issue. So at this time, I'm just looking into some of the complaints that the trustee has been looking into now this time.
I'm going to respect that answer. I'm going to work with the chief on this, but something needs to be done, because again, this may happen again. And as a matter of fact, we was allowed to leave, or we was asked to leave the meeting for this reason. Again, putting this board and the members and the citizens at stake. We leave this meeting, that person is still out there. As soon as we walk out that door, they could have started shooting. Thank God they did not. But nevertheless, something needs to be done for a high-ranking officer such as that, especially ones who've been constantly suing the village because of in her words, incompetent people, and yet she appears to be the one that's incompetent. Again, I've been told that her act was an act of cowardice and neglect of duty that need to be dealt with. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Myers.
I do agree on one aspect. I don't think that they duty of cowardice on the officer. I do agree 100% that the police chief and the village manager should get together and get a game plan in case this incident or similar incident occurs again, where we know what they're saying, heck, we're going to do there. My personal opinion, I think everybody's running around with a chicken chopped off until we actually found out what the heck was going on. The police chief was doing his thing, notifying, but I think the bottom line, Mr. Mayor, another one person was, what, a third, fourth person in the load got notified. You should have been first to be notified. And we need to get the plan together. We need to get it in place, whether it takes the manager, the police chief, all the department heads, all the trustees. We need to get something in place. We need to do it ASAP. So, who knows, it could happen again next week. Thank you.
Trustee Lee.
I just have a question, a couple questions. We received an email from the village manager on the 14th that I'm assuming was just a cut and paste or a forward from the police chief. Okay. It says that there's a report from that sergeant forthcoming. Did that report ever come in? I'd be curious. I kind of have, I don't know if this person approached Sergeant Salisbury, he approached the dispatch. I'm just confused about exactly what happened that night. I think we do need to know. And I said it at that meeting last week, and I know that I still stand behind the fact that when a situation like that happened, I think that instead of contacting the village attorney, I think the village manager should have been informed. And I would understand why, as the mayor should have been informed, but I think because he was conducting the meeting, I think the village manager, who was off to the side, should have, as soon as there was an issue, been informed. And it would have been her responsibility to contact the mayor and then have that decision be discussed, a quick recess be taken. They can take 2 trustees at a time to, pull us up, tell us what's going on, and let that decision be made instead of having a big, drawn out. Nobody was paying attention at this point because as soon as the doors closed, I started wondering what's going on. Why would these doors be closed? Why are those doors closed? Why are there so many police officers in the hallway? And the residents couldn't see it because they're looking this way, but it makes our attention go elsewhere, and our attention needs to be here. So I just would hope that, I know we have an emergency plan that we've been working on.
I was trying to, trustee, following that event, to locate an emergency evacuation plan. I've met with staff, and we've been unable to locate one that historically was in place. And so I'm meeting with some of the staff tomorrow, and then I'm going to meet with the staff that work here. We're trying to develop a plan. We were just trying to see if there was one already in place, but they did not. And when we notice some things such as evacuation plans, you should have one of those, you are here maps, and here's the exits. There aren't any throughout the village. And so those are the things we're going to have to start looking at and addressing. We did have a quick meeting with staff in reference to what we do. I've talked to panic alarms and things like that. We reviewed some of the preliminary things in place, but staff will be meeting tomorrow in reference to that.
And nothing about emergency evacuations or anything is in the building security, because I know that's what I was referring to, not the emergency plan about the water. I was referring to the emergency plan or the building security that I know was started when Medical Corley was here, and we discussed it a couple months ago, how we were going to reevaluate, we were going to take on that project, reevaluate, see who was going to close up the building,
Right.
yada, yada, yada. I'm assuming, because I remember when she first presented it, there was something in there about evacuation, security, what's the
I'm
next
trying to
order.
locate that plan. The one that we had talked about was actually the building security, reference to closing the building. Yes, that was part of the plan. And also attending the meetings and who's attending the meetings and control of the building. We talked about that. But the emergency plan wasn't necessarily part of that. But we will be adding that to it. We're going to be reviewing it with staff to bring everybody up to speed. But I did not, and I asked Sharon, who is usually my left and my right hand, she remembered the plan that Ms. Corley had brought forward, but we're trying to locate the plan itself. So we don't have to reinvent the wheels, that you all had seen the draft, and I hadn't seen that. So that's what we're trying to do, to be be able to do that.
I know that the chief of police and the village manager kind of looking together at some things in some direction since this has happened. And the event that something like this happened while we're in the board meeting, the direction that, chief, would you like to expand on?
Mr. Mayor, you know, we can all Monday morning quarterback, but I've been through these trainings about situations that take place in municipal buildings and schools. Over the last 10 or 12 years, we've had so many shootings that take place inside of municipal buildings and schools. So the thing is, there's no evacuation plan for a situation like that, because what you do on a situation like that is you do not send people outside into harm's way. You secure the building, and once you secure the building, then you're able to secure the outside area. Yeah. So once you have the perimeter against you, everyone is in here safe, because we have all the officers, and not let the perpetrators in the building inside of this room, which is, at that time he was not. So we're going to secure this building before anyone leaves. If any resident was here, it was policemen at both exits at the parking lot. Every resident left that day, and including the staff and the attorney also. So again, the money when the quarterback can always be there. We can always say what it could have should. But at the end of the day, my goal is to make sure that every person that comes to this building leaves the building the same amount of holes they came to the building. And that's what I'm going to do. As it relates to me relaying information to the attorney first, you were in the middle of talking. I believe the village manager was answering a question from the board. That's the reason why I immediately went to the attorney, because he's going to be the one that's free to advise you and the board. And this is what took place. And once I told the attorney what we had, I then would invite him to put in the security of the building and the residents and the board as my main thing. Second priority to identify and if we could apprehend the offender who made this complaint. That's how the procedure goes. We can have an evacuation plan that's for fire and all those things. That falls on the fire system. But we got situations like that arise. The first thing is for us not to have sheer panic. Have people running out the doors. No, I'm not going to pull two trustees. I'm not going to try to pull two trustees out of time to talk to you guys, because at that point, that doesn't leave me to give orders how we can secure this building for the outside of the city. That's how that is going to be. That's how it will be done anywhere else in America.
Now, you had mentioned something about you may have a direction of how you would like to see this done.
Well, I mean, one of the first things is that I did hear the village clerk say that I couldn't close the meeting because of the Open Meetings Act. The Open Meeting Act has nothing to do with us securing this building. If I have a policeman at the door and that door is locked, and any citizen walks up and unlocks and opens that door, that citizen in, they have full access to the meeting. We're not locking anyone out, number one. Number two, one of my things that I stress to the village manager is that right now we have two ways of egressing out of this building. I feel that we should lock that door when that end of the building and make the only entrance this way. Okay? So everybody walks out, they come in one way, they exit one way. It's more easier to see who's coming in and out. You know, the only person that's going to be on that back side, like I was getting ready to go when I talked to Trustee Myers, I didn't think he was coming in. I just saw a quick shadow of him dip in the bathroom before he came out to the board. Is that correct, Trustee? I couldn't see his full body though, because and that's a problem for me right there, because I want to make sure everybody in here is safe. Again, I think someone should be able to gain entry with a key card on that back gate, the back door, but I don't know how people can get in. We don't know what situations people have in their minds today. I don't want anyone to get injured.
Chief, is it permissible to use one door, even though you have the right to go out of it? Can you have one door of entry?
Yes, you can. We still have other ways.
Yeah, you can get out the door.
Right, but you just cannot come in that way. We can still exit through those doors.
Right.
You just can't come in. We only have one way of getting in the building. We have several options of exiting the building, right? Out to this open area here, out to the rear door there, out over there. I'm not sure if this is the door in this room right here, but we have several ways to exit the building. I just only want to make sure there's one way to come in. And that's nothing, I mean, listen, it's up to the board, they decide that they can, anything on idea, maybe silly, I don't know. My goal again, at the end of the day, is to make sure the place of the building and the participants inside of the building are safe. Entering and exiting.
Mr. Mayor,
Hold on.
Commissioner, I definitely think that we need to sit down as a board and
Can't hear you, David.
review. I think definitely as a board, we need to sit down and review a security, security type procedure. I don't agree with everything that happened last Tuesday night. There should have been other steps in place. However, we don't have stuff in place. We understand the chief needs to secure the building. However, this board should have been notified immediately. The meeting should have been tabled. We sat and argued back and forth about if we're going to table a meeting. The meeting should have been tabled. The executive board should have been removed from this meeting room. Even if we went to a separate area, and the meeting should have ended, we should have been going back and forth. There should be something in the security plan where something like this happens in the end, that we don't have to argue back and forth. We have to go, we had residents in the audience, and we had police officers blocking the doors. Again, you want to talk about the Open Meetings Act. Any way you look at it, if you lock doors are locked. Okay? Even when we go to secure a building, the meeting should have been tabled right then and there. This board should be aware of if there's any issues like this going on going forward. However, we can talk about it when we discuss the procedure. But definitely, I do not agree with the way it was handled last Tuesday night. And again, I can't say it's because we have all procedures for different procedures. And I definitely think we should look into it.
That's incorrect though, trustee, there are procedures how you clear a building. You were a Marine, right, weren't you? You were not a Marine? Okay, sir. It's a way that you clear a building, sir. It's a way that you hold. And when I began, the first thing I told the village attorney, the first thing I said was, counselor, have the board go into executive session, and then once I secure it, I'll come in and give them an update. Counselor, is that correct?
I already mentioned something about executive session, but I think that was it. You know, we determined it was more credible. I think we were going to do that. But
Yeah, my goal was to take you guys out together and let you guys go into executive session. But again, guys, you can understand something. To try to tell you guys on an individual basis what we got going, that is not time efficient nor security sound.
But we're talking the same thing, Chief. When you say go into executive session, you're clearing the executive board from this room. It did not happen last Tuesday night, and it took trustees to see police officers going back and forth in the hallway. It took trustees watching you walk over and shut the doors before we knew there must be something going on. Because now we're taking police officers off the streets to come in here and start going through a village hall. So something was going on. This village board did not know about it. The residents stayed right where they were. This village board sat right where it was. And I think we're in agreement that there needs to be a policy whenever something like this happens in the future. We want to make sure we secure the building like we did, but the executive board should be removed from this room and moved to another location. And if you look at any other executive branch, if you go to Springfield, you go to Washington, it's done the same exact way.
Village manager, they mentioned about staff meeting tomorrow. We can all get together and set policy up for the next 6 weeks. And we'll take you folks out of the limelight and take the residents out at the same time. All right.
You know, I just want to end on one comment to back to Trustee Haynes. I've heard several times, every time whenever a policeman comes here, I've heard say, well, the policeman's pulled off the street and comes to the board meeting. The board is part of Sauk Village. It makes it the police, you got to call here, you got to call Walgreens, McDonald's, around the clock. That is a call for service. So you're not pulling them off anywhere. He's providing that service for the whole community. This village is part of the community. So coming here for a call for service is no different than punching them for any other calls. So it's not, he's doing his job while he's at work. This falls in the parameters of the job, answering the call for service at the village hall.
Mr. Mayor, I do recall a couple years ago, a year ago,
Trustee Myers.
I just wanted to say, I know it was brought up last week and it's brought up today that I said that we didn't have police officers here. I stand by that. I said it then and I say it now, that we've already dropped minimum staffing. You've already got audience members complaining there's not enough police on the streets, and that's why I said it then. And if I'm not mistaken, which I rarely am, we sat there on the floor, on the table down there, and we said during a board meeting, which this is a board meeting, because the chief of police is here, who is a officer of the law, he will represent the police department, has the ability to call for backup if needed, he can do that. We stated also that at the committee meetings, which is when we're sitting at the tables on the floor, a police officer would be in the room, because the police chief is not usually here during those times. That is what was determined. That has not been the practice, which is fine, but that's what we determined, that's what we discussed. And I think that if we want to go back to that, that's fine, like I said. But pulling people in here to stand, we have board meetings that start at 7, sometimes don't get out till midnight. That's shift changes involved in that, that's 5 hours where an officer's not on the street. And unless we sanction overtime for this one day with, and every time you pull an officer in, no matter if they're here for 10 minutes or 3 or 10 hours, you have to pay them at least 3 hours. They're here for 10 minutes. So it's just something that we need to think about. I'm all for it, I'm just saying, I don't want to pull extra people off of the street. And I understand that this is a community building, and I understand that we do have community residents. All of us sitting up here are community residents. We all want to remain safe. I just think that 30 people that are in this room are less than 10% of the people that are out there. And we just need to think of where's the greater need. And I think that all goes back to communication. And I know that we pointed out so-and-so's in the military, so-and-so's got law enforcement experience, so-and-so, well, I don't any of that. I'm not in the military, I don't have law enforcement experience, I don't know the proper protocols of just trying to get everybody out of the building. So if we don't have anything written down, that's a problem. So to cite that, it's been like this for years, well, we've never had to deal with it here. This village has changed so much in 3 years. We've had more threats, more yelling, more screaming, longer board meetings. It's become more a hostile environment in the last 3 years. So all of this is new to all of us. We're taking baby steps. We're learning. It's just a point of clarification. Everybody needs to sit down. We need to come up with a plan. And that's it. Chief Stockbridge has said I will leave 4 times. Tomorrow, the plan is sit down and discuss a meeting. And while I don't think anybody up here needs to be involved in that, we will be the ones to determine yes or no. So I appreciate in advance the manager, all the department heads for taking the time out of their day to sit down and discuss that. And I don't expect it tomorrow, but bringing us a plan eventually.
Mr. Mayor, one question. Trustee, with all due respect, I would like to disagree with the thought process of not having a police officer in the meeting. Almost every meeting throughout the country, they do have a police officer at the board meetings and in those meetings. And one of the reasons why I say that, and I disagree with you on that, respectfully disagree with you on that, is because just because we had a threat, where we've had the shootings, where we've had the actual violence take place at board meetings, school board meetings, and at college and grammar schools, there was no outcry of violence before those situations took place. It just happened. So we don't know when those situations may take place. So it's better to be prepared for it and have someone here than not to. Okay, because it's different to have a person that's standing in the room waiting. That's the best procedure. It's worked everywhere else. So I don't see why it wouldn't work here. Now, that's, like you said, you're not in law enforcement, so that's why I said I respectfully disagree with the statement you made about that, because you're making that from a standpoint of a non-police personnel. So that doesn't make your thought process wrong. It just makes an error. That's all. Okay.
Mr. Mayor, that's my point.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
in regards to what the chief stated and in regards to what the trustee stated, but Ms. Turner just left, I was gonna ask her, does she demand or ask for the department heads to be at all the board meetings, that's all 4 of them? Or is it just the second and fourth board meetings that she asks the department heads to attend? And I was trying to find out, I don't know if she asked them to attend all 4. If she does ask them to attend all 4, the department heads are your police chief, your fire chief, and your code enforcement. And I just want, Ms. Turner, do you require the police chief, fire chief, and your code enforcement to attend all the board meetings, or just second and fourth Tuesday?
Okay, if the committee meetings, if there's an item on the agenda, then I will ask the department head to come and discuss that agenda, but they are not required to come to all of the committee meetings. The board meeting, as a matter of practice, they have been in attendance for the board meeting. I apologize that some of the staff are not here tonight, but typically these happen on Tuesdays, and they had other commitments on Monday night.
Okay.
Kevin did explain that he could not make it. I believe we did get through the village engineer's report, so I did not invite him back.
No, the reason I was asking you out of the room is I was just wondering, because it seems to be, a staffing problem or a problem with the police officers being here. I'm in agreement with the trustee as far as we don't need an extra officer. If we have the police chief here on second and fourth Tuesday, and if there's an incident, he has the radio right there. He is an officer of the law. He can't, he can't invoke whatever he has to invoke and get a call for backup. Same thing if an officer was here. If an officer was here, we had a lot of people that they had to call for backup too. So it would be the same thing. If there was one officer couldn't control 60, 50, 70 people at one time, if that was to happen, but I don't think it would be. But I don't like the fact, and I will stand against the fact that we don't need a police state. You don't have to have the police every time we have a board meeting. Yes, we argue back and forth. We go belligerently after each other. However, it hasn't come to the point where we should have a police presence at all times. But if that's what's needed, and that's what it is when we have the police chief here, he's here on Tuesday, the second and fourth Tuesday. Now, if you want a police officer on the first and third, as was stated, yes, it probably will cause, because we have a tendency to convene into 2 different shifts. So we see, we come out of the afternoon shift and go into the midnight shift. We're still here, so that means also we have to change shifts if that's needed. But I would like to see it on a need basis, and hopefully we can give the audience the benefit of the doubt that they're not going to come up here and harass or be threatening to the board in that way. Now, you're saying that it's taking, you're trying to be cautious. But then again, what kind of message is that showing? That we don't trust our residents? That we don't trust the residents to come here? Yes, they express their opinion. Every one of them does. Just like the trustees that express their opinion. But I don't think we have to have a police presence here to have someone to walk around with their gun and say, okay, because I've seen it happen before when a police presence was here and a person was asking to be quiet or whatever, and they were removed. Well, if that's the case and the chief is here, he can make that call. But on the first and third, if that's the case, if they want to have an officer here, I have no problem. I would not have a problem with the first and third if there was a need to have an officer here. But on the second and fourth, we have the chief here. I don't see why we should have a chief and an additional officer here to do that. There's a lot of other things that needs to be done out there in the village, and I'm sure that the chief could, as he did before, when this happened last week, he made a phone call. He brought the supervisor on duty out here to secure the building with the officers that was in tow. So to have all that, and then, as was stated before, the chief stated a lot of times, whatever you see that happens out here, the people of the village knows what happened. So if they did everything that happened here, guess what happens on the street? We got 4 officers up here in the village. How many more are left in the village patrolling the village? So I'm just hoping, and I'm saying that about the residents that come to the meetings. Yes, they get irate, they get a little overbearing. Yes, they scream and holler. But I don't think it's a threat where the police officer has to be there with his gun and stick or whatever to actually put a person down during the board meeting.
Trustee, if I may, forgive me, I had to step up for a minute. Historically, this is not necessarily something that's unique for Sauk Village. There has been several attacks on school boards as well as other municipalities being threatened. They usually have security at their meetings, and sometimes even will warn people at the door, basic for security reasons. It just kind of like, this is the time that we live in. I don't know if it's post or pre 9/11, but that's an issue. What I would thank the chief of fire for mentioning is that we're going to sit down with some plans, some recommendations, what they're going to be of procedures, and present them to the board for you all to say this is the official procedure. I did look in the handbook, which I can find quite quickly. It's very generic because we want to be able to establish, if I can understand everybody, we want to establish an agreed upon plan. Now everybody may like the plan, but we need to have an established plan and then move forward with that plan as an overview of what to do. It will make a recommendation of to have the police here or to what type of how many. We will make that recommendation to you once we've had an opportunity to meet, as well as those other things and even tornado drills and those kind of things that I'm quite sure Mr. Johnson is going to help me put together. We're going to take all those emergency things to be able to do that, to bring it to the board for you all to review, approve, and then once it's approved, I'm going to share it with our insurance company because this is something that we need to be able to do. So we need to have this plan. It's just that we support this plan. I have not been able to. Kevin's looking in his paperwork to see. I don't know if the clerk has had work back in the day, but I just need to have a plan. But we can go and find a plan and adopt it. But it needs to be a plan in reference to.
But Mr. Matthews has one last question. Chief, sir, is there a police presence at the school board meeting?
I have no idea.
Pardon me?
I don't have anything with school board meetings.
Okay, but that was mentioned.
But they called.
There was an attack and a shooting at a school board meeting. There was an attack and a shooting, so we're just trying to say it has happened at school board meetings, not necessarily ours. And other municipalities, they've had shootings and attacks in their reference to that. So it's not uncommon this would happen at a village meeting.
So we can move on, and we know that the village manager and the department head is going to be coming up with a plan. Be prepared to look at the plan and offer some suggestions to the plan. Okay.
Man, I gotta say one thing. We want to move forward, and I agree with you. We can move forward, but I need to say this: we don't need to micromanage the police department, and what this board is still trying to do. This man is an expert at what he does. Nobody on this board is an expert in criminal activity. Nobody is an expert in apprehending criminals at all, but the police department and the police chief. Why would this board have the audacity to put their 2 cents in where it's something that he should be trying to improvise? Secondly, is everyone up here going to be, anyone's going to be responsible for someone's life if they get hurt and we have no police presence? Sometimes this man may walk out of this room for a reason whatsoever. Now we have no police presence. We need a police presence here. To sit here and say we don't need one is foolishness. And if they're going to take, if anyone on this board is ready to take responsibility for anyone that gets hurt or killed in this meeting, let them do so, because I'm not.
The chief and the village manager are going to come up with a plan, and if you have your suggestions at that time, please forward it to them, or I'm sure you're going to be able to discuss it at that time. Okay?
Mr. Mayor, the trustee, rather than no one has qualifications or whatever, other than the chief. However, this is the same trustee that says he wants to be involved in discipline of a sergeant, and he's going to be in contact with the chief. He made it very clear. So,
Also,
it's fine. He can't get involved when he wants to get involved, but whatever trustees have questions about, all of a sudden, no one's qualified.
along